You may have heard Jasper said my name was Spaceman Africa. That is true, although I wasn't born with that name. Recently celebrated 20 years of Spaceman Africa, so 20 years ago I was in a pub in Dublin, Ireland, and very drunk. I was with a mate, we shall call him Crazy Horse. And we were talking about all sorts of weird things, and he brought up the topic of a deed poll, which, if you don't know, that's a legal document that says you've legally changed your name. And he said you could go online and buy one for free. And so he told me this story about how he went on there pretending to be his mate Pete, and he changed Pete's name to Edgar Stewart, and the deed poll arrived at Pete's place, and he saw this deed poll going, what the fuck, I don't remember changing my name. So I thought that story was pretty funny. And in my drunken, adventurous spirit, I thought, well, if it's that easy, why don't we change our names? And we fucking went through with it. I chose Spaceman Africa, and he chose Crazy Horse Invincible. Now, Crazy Horse Invincible, it's a pretty good name, but that's not the first choice. Get this, he first chose Crazy Horse Bananas. But after a short while he thought, oh, that's a bit ridiculous. So Crazy Horse Invincible it was. But I couldn't think of a name straight away. It was a week or two later. In fact, I was sitting with Crazy and he said, your bracelet, man, you can change your name to your bracelet. So I had this bracelet from South Africa. It's got in different beads here. It says S Africa. And he said, S Africa, you could be Scott or Siegfried Africa. And Spaceman used to be an old nickname of mine. It starts with S. So I said, no, fuck it, I'm going to be Spaceman Africa. And if you've ever thought of changing your name to something weird and wonderful, I recommend it. Life's been very entertaining. So yeah, that is my real name. As for a stage name, I'll probably choose John Smith. Yeah, life's been pretty funny. So one of the funniest stories that happened was there's a college in the US, and each year they run an online Name of the Year competition where people can vote online for their favourite name in the ballot. So in 2008, I was nominated, and I actually fucking won. I won the people's vote. There was the judges' vote or the people's vote. And thank you. It's 14 years ago, but I still live off the honour. And the best thing was I beat Fonda Dix in the final. I was elated that I won, but I felt a bit sorry for Fonda because, I chose my name, I'm responsible for it. I'm assuming that her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Dix, named her, the poor woman. I hate to think what they named their other children, maybe Fanny and Richard. I don't know. I like Johan's technique. He just say a joke and then tell you to laugh. So maybe they named their other children Fanny and Richard. Okay, laugh now. I'm actually not going to play this, I just like holding it. Life has been very fun with this name. Moving on, put your hand up if you are horny right now. Alright. Well, sorry I can't help you, but this next story, the theme is being horny. And when I was in my early 20s, I was backpacking around Europe. Woo! Yeah! And I was hitchhiking through Germany, and I was at a truck stop, and a truck driver kindly stopped to give me a ride, and I noticed his fly was undone, but I thought, I didn't think too much of it. I thought maybe he's just forgot to do it up. So we hop in his truck, it's one of those big rigs, and we're motoring down the autobahn, and everything's going all right, and then he pulls out a porn mag, and I thought, hello, and he hands it to me to have a look, and I don't mind looking at the porn mag, but I'm just browsing it politely, and then like he and this is all in German. I know a few words, but not fluent by any means. And so he says when he looks at the magazine, his dick gets hard, and I'm thinking, what? This isn't the usual conversation I have. I thought, okay, I don't need to know this, but anyway. But then he says, does it make your dick hard? I'm like, whoa, where's this going? Shit. You know, no one mentioned this in the brochures when I said to my mates, yeah, I'm going backpacking around Europe, you know. They said, oh, you'll have fun, it'll be an adventure. Nowhere did anyone say, oh, mate, yeah, just make sure you have a sense of humour when that German proposition's here, you know. But anyway, I thought, yeah, I might, hopefully, you know, fuck, I don't know what's happening here. And so it went from weird to worse when he started saying, Marsch, 50 Deutschmarks. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, what? And I'm thinking, 50 Deutschmarks, do I have to pay him or is he going to pay me? And who's doing the mushing to whom? Do I have to mush him? And I was like, how does this work? But you know, I was actually worried if I said no, he might get angry. So I just said yes, and I sucked him off for 50 euros. No, I did not. What I did was I hid behind the language barrier. So he's going, 50 Deutschmarks? And I'm going, sorry mate, don't understand. That's what German, you know. This sort of action's very foreign to me. I've got no idea what you're talking about. And I could have gone on like that all day, and you know, I was pretending for a while, and eventually I thought I'll just let him down gently. So I said no, and his reaction actually did surprise me. He became all normal. He's like, oh, so are you a student, or are you just traveling around the country? What do you think of Germany? And I'm like, oh look mate, I just want to get off at the next stop. And when I mean get off, I mean, you know, just let me out of here, please. So yeah, he let me out and I just sat there at the truck stop in shock. And one thing I forgot to mention, an important part of this story, was when he was rubbing himself, I suddenly realised why his fly was under, because he's rubbing his bulge in his pants and I could see he had pink undies. And so when I was sitting there in shock, that image just stuck in my head, and unfortunately never been able to get rid of it. Partly because I've written a song about it. That's why. Anyway, so I'm going to play a song for you. It's called Horny German Truck Driver. Speaking of feeling horny, I'm going to call my girlfriend up here to. This is just for backing vocal purposes, of course. Please. Welcome Rebecca to the stage. It's called Horny German Truck Driver. Oh, you're still stick it in, baby. Yes. Stick it in if you're horny. There we go. Just when I thought a ride wasn't meant to be, along came a trucker who stopped to pick up me. He said, how do you do, and can I do you too? I'll have my way with you. I said, I'm from this land, so I don't understand why you don't use your hand. Cause he's a horny German truck driver. He wants from me a sex favor. Gets lonely on the road. He wants my help to shoot his load. Cause he's a horny German truck driver. horny German truck driver. He handed me a magazine which I was keen to read. The naked women in the book, they were a sight to see. The driver got excited, I could see his pink undies. The next thing I knew, he was flirting there with me. He said, how do you do, and can I do you too? I'll have my way with you. I said, up on this land, so I don't understand why you don't use your hand. Cause he's a horny German truck driver. He wants from me a sex favor. Gets lonely on the road. He wants my help to shoot his load. Cause he's a horny German truck driver. Horny German truck driver. He set the price at 50. Who wants to pay him or me? I said, no, I don't agree. Let me out here, end the story. Horny German truck driver. Horny German truck driver. Wants from me a sex favor. Horny German truck driver. Thank you, guys. Thanks very much. One more short story with a song from one love story to another. This is a true story. It's about a man my mate knows, and he's heard this song, and he likes it, even though it takes the piss out of him. So this is a love story. This man had a cat, and one day he was patting the cat, and he came across like this growth on the cat. It was like a mole, and he's a bit worried about it, so he rubbed the mole to see if it caused the cat any like pain or discomfort. And the cat seemed alright with it. In fact, he looked like it enjoyed it. So the guy didn't really worry about it. And from time to time, when he was patting the cat, he'd rub the mole as well, because cats seemed to like it. But he was at the vet sometime later for another matter, but he thought while he was there, he'd ask the vet about this growth, about this mole, just to make sure there was nothing to worry about. And the vet said, mole? That's no mole. That's the cat's penis. So, with a bit of help from AC/DC, I've written a song called It's a Long Way to the Top If You're Robbing Kitty's Mole. Resting from a long day, going with the flow. Kitty's coming my way, showing off his mole. Getting filled up, and he moans. Puts his feet up, and he groans. Rub it soft, rub it rough. I tell you folks, my cat can't get enough. I feel like betrayed. What a shock, it's a penis, not a mole. What a sad day, had to stop rubbing little Kenny's mole. You think it's easy here from where I stand? Today no one will shake my hand. What can I say? It's a cock and I thought it was a mole. What can I say? It's a cock and I thought it was a mole. Getting filled up, and he moans. Puts his feet up, and he groans. Rub it soft, rub it rough. I tell you folks, my cat can't get enough. Is it okay, Doc, if I'm rubbing Kitty's mole? You say it's foul play, what a clock, no more touching Kitty's pole. You think it's easy now that I've been banned from touching cats in my homeland? What can I say? It's a cock and I thought it was a mole. What can I say? It's a cock and I thought it was a mole. I feel I'm betrayed. What a shock, it's a penis, not a mole. What can I say? It's a cock and I thought it was a mole. What can I say? It's a cock and I thought it was a mole. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bec, for singing. Thank you, Bec.